Have you ever played against I am Daniel Naroditsky?
I did. I have. I actually, well, he's kind of a rising star. I played against him when he was younger, and I went to the World Youth Chess Championship with him. I think it was that was a while ago. That was maybe 2005. I think we were together in France. Um, I think, no, yeah, Belfort, France. And yeah, he was a little even smaller. He was a smaller back then. He wasn't IM, but he was a rising player for sure. I haven't played him in a while though. I haven't seen him in a while. I think he got really really good in the past few years. So
Oh, really?
yep, he's always been a rising star.
So the next question that I had was, how do you play so fast? I guess you already spoke about tactics, but I guess I'm curious, like physically, like, uh, is there any, I don't know, is it kind of like StarCraft where you have to do like a lot of clicks per minute?
In StarCraft, there's a measure called like APM, like everybody. It's like actions per minute. In chess, actually, there's not that many actions per minute required for moving quickly. It's mostly about like I said before, anticipating your opponent's moves and like having a move ready. Um, like say you play a move and then you expect your opponent to play one. Like you can either A pre-move, which obviously is very quickly, I mean very fast, or you could like have your piece hovering over one of your pieces like ready to move really quickly.
So do you have your piece hovering, ready to move against your opponent like often? Is that
Pretty often, yeah. Especially when I'm reading my opponent well. Sometimes you just have those moments or those days where you can really read your opponent, like you're really on the same like wavelength as him. So you really have those moves ready, and it makes a huge difference. Like you almost at the point where you can pre-move against him because you know exactly what he's going to do.
so? Is there almost like a psychic element?
Yes, that's a psychic psychological element of it.
Huh.
Like there are some games like it's amazing. Like when I play some grandmasters, like one of the best, maybe the best bullet player on chess.com is GM Janosik. He's a grandmaster, a young player like me, and he's a grandmaster. A lot of our games, since we are like on the same length, like we're comparable strengths and like comparable ideas. A lot of our games are pre-moved until like the 15th or 16th move. So that's just to put in perspective.
Wow.
And like obviously sometimes if I'm being in a really where one of us has been like in a naughty mood, like we'll make a move that, takes advantage of that. But normally we're pretty good about that. We just let it happen. So
Um, so that brings me to another question: is like, when are you out of book in your games?
it depends on the opening. I know a lot of opening theory, just from my time over the board chess. Um, it really depends on the game when you're out of book. It's hard to answer that question.
Wh- so when you know a lot of opening theory, is it like you know a lot of like concrete lines, right?
Yes,
So where did you find those lines?
I use ChessBase. Uh, I use ChessBase to, they have an opening book, and also basically when I analyze openings, what I like to do is I go into ChessBase or Mega Database. It's basically a compilation of, all the strong master games. Like I think there are a few million of those games. What I like to do is I type in an opening that I'm curious about. I filter the search so it's only 2,400 rated players and above, and then I see what all the strong players are playing in that opening. And that's the way I build my opening repertoire.
So do you literally have an opening repertoire written out?
Yes, I do. I have a database of, I like to, obviously after I look it up, I write it down on what I learned. And so yeah, in my database, I have a lot of random opening lines, but yeah, essentially my opening repertoire is written out. I mean, there are some ideas that are not written down that I just inherently know from studying, but yeah, for the most part, my opening repertoire is in database PGN form.
So how many hours did it take you to build this
Oh, I don't
database?
even know, man. Many of me. I would say at least I don't know, almost 1,000 hours. I really don't know. At least several hundred hours for study.
It could be 1,000 hours.
In terms of yeah, I mean over my lifetime, I would say definitely that could be a possibility. Remember, I've been playing for 15 years since I was 5. Maybe I only started doing database study maybe when I was 12, so maybe 8 years of that. You know.
So you still use some of your analysis from when you were 12?
Some of it. Obviously, I'm much more wary my 12-year-old stuff, but I edit and I don't know. I'm strong enough to know that like, oh, that's not a good idea anymore and stuff. But yeah, obviously I'm very careful about the older stuff. But stuff from like maybe 2006, 2007, it's pretty accurate. I don't know.
Okay. I'm interested. Cool. So I'll have to ask you more about that later.
Okay.
So I've watched you play and I've seen you have like 200 point like rating swings
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about the variance that you've experienced?
In terms of rating swings, it can pretty much be explained in one way. It's just that basically when you're in you can get in a zone in bullet, as people say, like in sports, you get in the zone. Sometimes like you just have off days and good days. Obviously there are other factors such as maybe you're playing underrated opponents, you're tired, outside factors like that. But for the most part, in terms of rating swings, it's all about how you're playing at that moment. So like sometimes after I play an hour, I really get into the groove and I really like to start calculating well. It's that kind of thing. Sometimes you're just in the zone, and that can really lead to rating swings. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Oh, this. So, are you a chess coach on chess.com?
Yes, sir. I am. Yep. I have quite a bit of students on chess.com. What I like to do is that I try to keep it very, very like level appropriate for my students, and I try to explain things very thoroughly and articulately. So a lot of my students appreciate that, and I really don't try to overwhelm them with information. I try to keep it appropriate so they can learn at least like a solid 3 or 4 things per lesson, and they can apply it to their own games as well.
And that's it for this chess interview with Evan Ju, a.k.a. Elysium. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be bringing you lots of more YouTube videos. And this is Galen Pyle, a.k.a. Determinacy with the Portland Chess Shop. Until next time, keep playing chess.